Hi, Sue Wilson, back again today for another video card, and I'm going to be showing you how to use striplets for borders for your card creations. Then the dies and embossing folders we'll be using on today's card are the Petite Arched Adornment out of our configurations range, the Canadian Collection Vancouver, the striplet is the Lattice and Lace Striplet, and the embossing folder is called Braided Vines. And we have a sentiment set, which is one of our A5 rubber sentiment sets called Special Sentiments. We'll move these out of our way and we'll get right in. Now I have gone ahead and done my embossing for this because you've seen me do embossing. So I've used the Braided Vines embossing folder, and I'm going to go ahead and just put this into place. We'll use a little bit of our double-sided tape. For the embossing for that, you're just going to use your base plate and your raspberry plate as the sandwich. Pop that down, and I'm going to put that right in place as our background. There we go. Now I've gone ahead and done a bit of piercing as I do, matted layer with some matching gold, vintage gold card and some black, and then a final milk card layer. So the next thing I want to do is just do a little bit of die cutting and show you how these dies work. Now your striplets come in two pieces. You have the inner decorative piece and an outer cutting edge, and we are going to be using both of these for today's card. So let's just pop it into place. Get it down there, center it, and I'm going to put the outer cutting edge on it and tape it into place. So you just want to kind of make sure you've got it centered within that framework nicely. I think that looks good. Put some tape both sides just to hold it steady. Oh, I moved a little bit there. Hang on. Yeah, I've got one pre-cut, so I'll just let that go. So we've got a cutting plate with our die edge cutting downward into it and the base plate on top. And I'm using the Grand Caliber, but you can check the Creative Expressions websites for any of the sandwiches for other machines. Let's check and see if we need a second pass. Looks like it's cut beautifully, but I'm going to do a bit of embossing. This one has some beautiful embossed areas to it. Change that out, put a pink, your pink embossing plate in your tan mat, and just pass it through the machine a second time. Now, let me get a hold of this, and I'll use our tool-in-one to take out the little bits, and take the tape off, get underneath the tape there. Let's just do the big reveal. How pretty is that? I love this striplet. I just think it's so pretty. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, let me move some of my bits out of the way here, and I'll show you what we're going to do. So I've gone ahead and used just the outside cutting ring to cut the backing piece in black, using a little bit of glue, and I think I'll just go with the Cosmic Shimmer Dries Clear glue here, and we'll just put some dabs of it all around. Just get the centers of those, and that should hold that nice and steady. Okay, and we're going to line that up so you have a really pretty gold top with the black showing through those beautiful cutout areas. Get that straight down there. Isn't that gorgeous? Oh, I just love this one. Okay, so set that up, make it nice and secure. Now, what you want to do for this is to bring in a paper cutter. And I'm just going to use this little one I have here. And down the center of that, we're just going to slice it. So line it up on the edge. Just let me make sure I'm top and bottom straight there. Get my fingers out of the way and give it a cut. Okay. So now you've got two really pretty pieces that you can adhere to your card. So I'm going to go ahead and bring this back over, and I have one I've done that already has some pearls put on it. So I'm just going to add a little bit of glue, and we'll add that to the side. Let me put a little bit on this one. Squiggle it all around. that right up to the edge of that embossed area. Give it a second to firmly attach. Do this one here. Let me lean in a little bit, make sure I've got it right on the edge there. That looks really pretty. Okay, so you can see how we're building that up, and I just love the way that that just totally takes your eye and focuses it. So the middle section is going to be the really, really beautiful area of your card. I went ahead and cut the Vancouver die out of the matching gold card, so you can see how pretty that is like that. And we're going to back it with the black card, just the same way we did with the striplet. So a little bit of glue around the edge here. I want to keep this as light as I can. And I'm just going to hit the corners just enough to make sure it'll stay attached, and we'll cut the center of that out. There we go. You can use spray glue for this too if you prefer. I say that should be enough, and I have just a tiny bit of extra popping out there, so let me get that off of there. Lay that down. And it's just so striking with that gold against the black. I think that's so pretty with the milk background. There we go. Now, the center of the Vancouver die is what we're going to use to cut the middle of that out. And that's what I did to cut that frame, so that will seat right back in there. And just kind of wiggle it around. You're sure it's not going anywhere, and then tape it into place. There we go. Put one on this side, and we'll give it a quick run through the machine and cut the center of that out. So if you cut the frame first on the top one and then cut the bottom piece and tried to match that hole up without gluing them together, you probably wouldn't get them in the same place, so it would show. So this is definitely the easiest way to do this and get a nice clean frame out of it. There we go. Put our tape back so we can reuse that. So you can see how nice that looks. Now I do have one that I've done ahead of time with a little bit of mounting foam, and I have stamped my sentiment and inked a little bit with antique linen distress ink. So I'm just going to peel the backing off of this, and we'll seat that right over our sentiment. Just kind of line that up, and let me lean over it so I can get it nice and straight. It is a little bit of a tight fit. Oh, don't do that. There we go, like that. Now, the little petite arched adornments here are going to go top and bottom. So I'm going to peel the backing off of this piece of the mounting foam a little bit, and we're going to line that up. So let me just peel this back. Put that like that. And I'm just going to pick up the edge there right along that point. And a little teeny bit of that corner sticks out, so I'm going to nip that away. Just top and bottom like that, okay? So now I can go ahead and take the rest of the mounting foam off. We'll do the other one that I've cut. Put this into place on here just like this one. Try and line it up in exactly the same spot. There we go. And it's nice. These just add a little bit extra of a detail to your card, and it's going to be tone on tones, and I've got the milk card behind it, but it is so pretty when you see it in person. So with my mounting foam there, we'll just pop this into place right in the center there. That looks about even. There we go. Finish up your card, and you have what looks like a really gloriously decadent card with that gold and black and that milk card there, but honestly the die cuts have done all the work for you. I hope you've enjoyed today's card. You can watch all of my videos on the Creative Expressions YouTube channel, and you can visit my Party Craft blog too.